Okay, so practice that power punch. Now I'm going to show the eagle claw right quick because I don't want to make this video too long. And I want you to practice this from the neutral stance or the semi-horse stance. Okay, so as I said in the instructions before this is just added. You're going to be striking with this part. Normally you see in the movies they hit like this. This is the throat. They hit the throat like this. Okay, right in the middle there. Now that's a nice little move, but if you do it wrong and that person, he's not going to just sit there and stand there and let you hit him in the throat. Maybe he's moving. You catch that thumb and you may dislocate it. And he's not going to stop and say, oh, you dislocated your thumb, we'll do it some other time. It happened to me, that's what I'm telling you. So I have another technique. What I do is I hit with this part, same way, but I have the thumb closed because what I'm doing is I'm hitting with eagle claw. These three, index, middle, and thumb. These two are bent in. The ring and the baby are bent in. So I'm hitting like, I'm grabbing like this, but I'm striking with this part also. If I hit the throat, I'm hitting the throat like this with this part. But as I hit, I'm squeezing with these two fingers and the thumb. So as soon as I hit, it's kind of like a motion. I grab. Yes. You want to grab around the trachea. Okay. You want to go in back of the trachea. You'll feel it if you start practicing on yourself. There's two positions: low, down by the jugular notch, and high, up under the back of the chin, you can say. It'll make you start talking funny. So those two positions, you're going to, either way you strike, you're going to strike with this part, and then as soon as you strike, the fingers are going to close upon touch, either up or low. Speaking of the jugular notch, there's a hole right there between your trachea where you breathe. This is good for females too because it doesn't require a lot of strength. If somebody has you and they're up close, two fingers push in that hole, and as you push in, you push down. Don't push straight across. You got to go down with it, okay? And the faster you do it, the better. And if you bend those front fingers, you won't hurt them. I wouldn't try to hit them straight. So when you hit, you go down immediately, which not just your wrist, your body weight behind it. Hit there and go in and down and get somebody off you. I don't mean to get off the subject on that one, but that's a good thing to know. That's the tiger, that's the eagle claw. Index, middle, and thumb, okay? And the way you're going to practice is that you're going to, just like in the sun fist punching, right down the center line, you're going to use just like this, just like you're grabbing the throat, okay? So it comes here, so you see this part that I'm going to strike with. This is the part I'm going to strike with. That's in front. It's coming to get your throat, coming to get that trachea. When you get it, you start practicing, you feel in yourself to go behind it, okay? Those bones only take 6 pounds of pressure inward to disrupt, disconnect, break. I don't want to say break, you're not really breaking, but you're damaging the throat. And also remember, with a busted trachea, it's hard to breathe. They may even die. So if you're not protecting yourself, I wouldn't use this move. I would just go do the strike and don't do the pinch or the grab. Or you can do the grab, but not to meet your fingers to each other. You can strike the throat and squeeze, that'll cause some damage. But if you strike and squeeze and try to close the fingers, you may do damage enough to kill somebody or mess their breathing apparatus up. You have to call medics for them if you decide to do that. When you're defending yourself, always kind of blade or whatever. Never stand like this at anybody or like you don't really care. Always think they're going to attack you. So stand ready. Also, yell out, hey, get back. I'm not going to yell because people are asleep. Yell out, stand back. I don't want to fight. Leave me alone, blah, blah, blah. If somebody is taping that, that's going to be better for you in court. The eagle claw practice from your natural stance or your hand stance straight down your body. Okay. When you strike, somebody's going to knock the hand off. The automatic thing is, I grab somebody's throat, they're going to try to either knock it off or they're going to push it off. They're going to want that hand off their throat. If you practice this, it'll show that as soon as they knock it off, this one is taking its place, okay? So it'll be like a muscle memory. Knock it off, but that one's there. Knock that off, that one's there. So now we're going to transition to the carotid artery. The arteries on both sides of the neck. So you're going to do the same stance, the same arm position, straight down the middle, okay? But you're going to go, instead of this, you're going to turn it this way, okay? It's kind of like drunken style. But you're going to go for the artery here. Carotid artery on both sides of the neck. Those big veins that you can squeeze. What you're going to do is go out, artery, artery. Practice the same thing. One hand gets knocked off, that one arrives. That's knocked off, that one's there. Now you get the artery though. So if you're going for the throat originally, you're striking and trying to grab the throat and they wrestling you, they got your hands all messed up. You can't get to the throat. Now you're thinking, slip through, go for the artery. Go over, go to the artery. If that messes up, your target is arteries, throats, whatever opens up, throw in arteries. And practice from this stance. Okay? Over, slip through, throat. The third one, groins or balls. Hope I don't offend anybody by saying balls. But you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to change your eagle claw, index, ring, and thumb. It's a good workout. You're going to change to all four fingers, kind of like a tiger claw, but think like an eagle instead. You're going to go to the groins of the balls. You're going to grab the back, and you're going to just lock in, just like what you do with eagle claw. You lock the artery and the trachea. You're going to lock the balls of the groins in your fingers. They're going to try to pull them out, pull away from you, push your hand, try to kick you. What you do is when you pull back, they're going to help you with the strength by pushing you off. They're going to give you more power. You squeeze your hand tight as you can, so when the balls or the groins come out, they're going to be more pinched, so it's going to cause more damage. Just like with your throat, your trachea, or your carotid arteries, when you grab the throat, they're going to push your hand. You squeeze tighter. So when they push, they're going to give you more power to pull their throat, cause more damage. But what you got to do is make it a habit of when you hit, squeeze. Like here, I'm squeezing. Hit, squeezing, squeezing. Hit, squeeze. Practice striking and squeezing, okay? So whatever you do it, when they get ready to push you away, squeeze, you're going to cause more damage, more likely. So from the practice you have right in the front, trachea, and it may not seem like it, but slow it down, squeeze. I'm squeezing, you just don't see it. Or maybe you do. Throat, trachea, not trachea, carotid artery, groins. And you're striking palm up. You want to get down there. You don't want to be down there, then have to turn around because the legs may be squeezed together. You can't turn your hand. So when you strike down, strike down. Whatever you grab, that's whatever you feel, that's what you grab. Because it doesn't mean you're going to make the right connection each time. You may miss. So whatever you get in your grab or your grip, that's what you grab onto, okay? And for the practice, that this area, the groin area, is the same. It's this. Practice this. Both hands. Muscle memory. Hit that, they're going to try to knock it off. So you want another hand down there. When you get good, when they start pushing off, their throat is going to be open. So that's when you go to the throat. So your objects are trachea. I'm going to slow down. Trachea. carotid artery, groin. This is the exercise. Back to the throat. Trachea, carotid artery, groin. Switch it up on your own. Do it like these, like I said. Do some of these. Carotid artery, the groin, but then change it over on your own. Practice different ones. If you have one here, practice two. Practice having different ones at the same time, okay? If you want to both carotid arteries, jugular, carotid arteries, grab both of them at the same time. You can grab the throat, not in front. I haven't shown it yet, but there's the ground technique where you grab the throat with both eagle claws. So the exercise is throat, carotid artery, maybe about this slow. Groin area, throat, carotid artery. Okay. Last one, and then I'm going to stop. Eyes. And I'm going to show you two different things on eyes. The eye gouge and the eye sweep, okay? So we may do a defensive stance this time. So from a defensive stance, your searching hand is always out. Okay, protection. I want to call this Wusao because I'm not doing Wing Chun, but it's back here. I'm going to use blocks here, blocks here. This is going to block, this is going to block. Different thing. So from here, eye gouge. Eye gouge is when you put your finger in somebody's eyes and you take the eyeball space, basically. This is only to protect yourself. You see the eye and you think about going behind it. If you see the eye and you think about the eyeball and you're going to probably stop there, you're not going to go deep enough. Think about going behind the eye. That's what you feel like you trained. If you think about you're going to go behind it for a year and a half, you're going to go behind it when you do strike it. If that's what your thought is, I'm going behind the eye. Go behind the eye. I can use one finger because I can do push-ups on my fingers. Right now, practice two fingers. Two fingers behind the eye. And do it from the straight punch. Okay? Not out here. You can do it, but you're not really going straight here. And there's a little more hitting. And people are going to be surprised because not everybody strikes somebody in the eyes. It just didn't happen. You weren't brought up that way. You were brought up to fight like a hero or something like that, play fair and all that stuff. But anyway, behind the eye with the finger from defensive stance. The backhand first. Practice with the front. It's different one. But see the eye. If you had a dummy, that's even better. Do not practice this stuff with anybody for a year. You can probably practice together. They're over here, you over here, but don't practice on anybody else's eye, whether you have glasses or not. Just for a whole year, just don't practice this street fighting with another person, somebody that you care about or whatever, or nobody actually. Make your dummy. I got a dummy I'm going to show you later, but get your dummy. Okay, so from the defensive stance, the front hand, and the front is behind my body. My body's here. It's there, okay? I'm not like this. Straight. So front hand, back hand, and when you do the backhand, turn the hips, just like you're punching. Okay? Turn the hips. So it's front, back, front. So it's kind of like a jab, but you're jabbing the eye, but you're going behind the eye, okay? And use two fingers. But also think, you don't want it straight as an arrow. You want the fingertips a little bent. If you're doing snake, this is basically what you're doing, snake strike. Bend the fingers a little bit. It's not a straight line unless you have some really iron fingers, which some guys do. Don't hit straight. Curve your fingers a little bit. But those two fingers are going to go in the eye. You want it to go in the eye. Kind of like a socket, like your juggler notch. You feel it. You want to go deep in there. The second eye strike is the sweep. And the exercise I showed you, we do this a lot. So watch those exercises. We do up and down, back and forth. What you're going to do is you're going to strike the eye, but you're going to go right. You're going to strike it, go right. But it's one move, okay? You're not going in. You're going to strike it. You're going to sweep before you go all the way in. So it's also this way, this way. You're going left. So you're going to run into the bridge of the nose. Left. Okay? This way, that way. So in the front and the back is the same thing, just like the eye strike, but you're going to strike and you're going to veer left. But you're going to strike the eye, okay? This way, you're going to strike the eye, but you're going towards the nose now. So you're going to strike it. Backhand, same thing. Either left or right, but you got to find something. I usually get a piece of rice paper or get something that you can hang down, no wind, and practice striking that and just barely touching it, okay? Barely touching the paper, left and right. So it's not a strike that goes all the way in, it veers to the left or right. Both hands, okay? Get there. Defensive stance. And what that do is that's a really good distraction. If I go like that, somebody's eyes, they're gonna react. My next movement is dislocating the knee. And then or hopping with another punch. Okay, so I strike, distraction, punch, kick. It's not gonna cause major damage, but it's gonna cause pain. It's gonna cause a reaction. You're not gouging the eyes with the fingers, that's major damage, okay? If they can fight with one eye and they want to keep fighting, that's fine. But if you strike the eyes and you sweep it, it's just going to be a distraction. It's going to be painful. They're going to have to stop and do something, okay? If you get somebody and you sweep their eye, they just look at you like, okay, what's next? You might want to change your strategy, okay? So that's going to be those techniques far as the eagle and the snake strikes. Go over how I exercise my fingers for the eagle. I'm going to show you how you can eventually get to push-ups on these three, index, middle, and thumb. And that's going to give you a good eagle claw grab, okay? Along with grabbing the sandbag. But you have to make your way from push-ups on these fingers and the tips. Okay, back again. Man, I'm perspiring. Whew. Hard YouTube content maker. That's me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say that. Man, these lights are bright. So, like and subscribe. I love comments. I try to respond to all the comments. Like I said, I'm not teaching tiger claw, eagle claw, snake, Wing Chun. I'm not teaching any of that. I studied that and I use those moves, other moves too. Hapkido, Taekwondo, Tansudo. I use those moves in my fighting when I used to fight. And they work, and that's the ones I'm showing you are the ones that you should practice because they work, okay? They may not work all the time, they may not work for everybody, but the ones I'm showing you is really good stuff. Sometimes people don't see what's really good for them, and it's right in their face, okay? You have a lot of good YouTube teachers out there. I mean, some pretty great guys. I hate to fight some of those guys, but I'm teaching what works on the street, okay? So remember that. What I'm going to show is how you're going to get your eagle claw and snake. Your fingers are better. If you've seen some of my videos, I do push-ups with my fingers on it. I do push-ups with my thumb. That takes a while. You just can't start doing it. It takes a lot of training, which I'm going to show eventually. But right now, I'm going to show how you get your tiger. I keep saying tiger. Your snake and your eagle claw stronger, okay? Like the throatic grabs I'm showing you, they work better if your fingers are really stronger than normal, let's say that. But I play guitar and I play piano, so what I do, the exercises I do are not to deaden or disfigure any of my joints. So what I'm doing is safe. You still play piano, still play the guitar, whatever. But I like the conditioning exercises I showed as far as after you hit the sandbag, kind of the same thing. Always wiggle your hands, stretch your hands out, massage your hands, use an ointment or liniment, Bengay, Vidagio, use them on your hands, keep your hands loose all the time. Okay. So what you're going to do is, eventually you want to be able to push up on just these fingers here, middle, index, and thumb. Okay, that's your goal right there. That'll give you a good eagle claw, a good snake. Okay, so this is your goal. Push-ups on these fingers. Of course, push-ups on the phoenix eye and thumb are harder, but as you see, I do those, so you can get there eventually. But this is right now, this is your goal. Push-ups on these. So the exercise is, I want you to follow this to the letter, because fingers break very easy or dislocate. So don't do that. So fingers, and if you remember, these are finger pads. Okay, these are the tips. We'll get to the push-ups on the tips, but not now. Right now we're using the pads, okay? So with the pads, all fingers, you're here and you're in this, I don't know, box position, dog position, whatever you want to call it. Your fingers are spread out and your thumbs are not back here by itself. It's to the side. Okay, my thumb is right across from this thumb. All fingers are on all pads. You're in this dog type position. And you should feel a little pressure on your fingers right now. From this, you should feel some pressure. Okay, lean forward, shoulders are over your hands. So this is your pressure. If this is too much for you, back up. If you go back here, it's less weight, okay? Right over your hand, that's weight on your fingers right there. If you start going back, weight off your fingers. But if you can, stay over your fingers with your shoulders. 30 seconds. Okay, that's your exercise right there. Do this, like I say everything else, twice a week. But if you can go 3 times a week, do it. I say twice a week because people get bored. They don't like to take time out to help themselves. But if you can, do this twice a week, okay? Over your fingers with your shoulders. After your 30 seconds are over, come back. Don't leave your fingers where they are, but take the weight off of them, okay? Don't bring your hand up yet. It may still feel like you're pushing down, but that's just a feeling. After your 10-second break, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After your 10-second break, back over. Another 30 seconds. Okay, and you don't have to think about what you're doing. You can think about something else, or something that's good, or something you're going to eat after you finish working out or whatever. You don't have to concentrate on your fingers, but you can if you want to. After your 30 seconds, okay, after your 30 seconds, you're going to come back. You're going to squeeze your hand as tight as you can. Yeah. 10 seconds. Relax. Shake them out. And then just start rolling your fingers out. So for 30 seconds, twice a day, this is what you're going to do. Finger pads, thumbs on the side, shoulders right over the hand. 30 seconds each. 10-second rest. 10-second rest, but leave your fingers down. Come back over, 30 seconds. 30 seconds are gone. Squeeze hard tight. 10 seconds. Relax your fingers. Okay, now that may sound like a baby exercise. It may be. Okay, but if that's too easy for you, this is a more advanced. Same thing you were doing from this little dog stance. Same thing you're doing, but just like they call it a female push-up. Why, I have no idea. Like females do like this, or guys. That's your push-up. You're on your knees instead of your feet. Your hands are the same way, but you're going to do the female push-ups, okay? I mean, I can do the female push-ups, but this is the way. You're not over your hands right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down. You're not doing a full push-up. That's what I call a full push-up. You're going to half stack it like this. Halfway, go back up. Halfway, go back up. You're not going all the way down. No. Just half stack. There, back. There, back. If that's too much for you, stick with this. You're not going down, you're just standing there, okay? Too much pressure, get it off of you. But if that's too easy for you, try this right here. Because from here, this is where you're going to go next, okay? This is your goal. So from here, push up, half stack, back up. Push up, half stack, push up, half stack, push up. Okay, 5. Just like your five fingers or 4 fingers and 1 thumb. 5. Get in position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so take your 10-second break. Just like the other exercises, you do your amount, you take your break, then you go back up. Okay, after 10 seconds, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many people did it with me? Okay, 5. When you finish, walk back using your fingers. Tight as you can, 10 seconds. Relax. Just go over to start, finger pads, thumb on the same side of each other, shoulders over hands. 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, go back, but don't release your fingers. After 10 seconds, your break. Go back over. 30 more seconds. At any time, if, say you're doing this, say you have 15 seconds, you just can't do it, then come up. Don't torture yourself. Okay, after your 30 seconds, come back. Tight, 10 seconds. 10 seconds pass, relax. Next exercise. This is, if this right here is too easy for you, okay? Next exercise, here, half stack push-ups, same hand position. 1, 2, after 5, leave it there. 10-second break. Remember, 10-second break, not long. Okay, go back for 5 more. After 5, walk it back, finger pads, 10 seconds. Okay, relax. And that's the exercise right there. More weight. Do the 30-second exercises because you're going to go to the next one because this one is so easy for you. Then after you do that exercise here, number 1 exercise, go to number 2, okay? So when I add number 3, the ones that are more advanced or stronger fingers, you're going to do 1, 2, exercise 3, 4, 5, however many I show out there. But that's the exercise. So that's it.